Hey guys, I'm Corina and welcome back to my channel. Today is day 22 of our 25 days of budgeting and I am so excited to share with you today's video. Today we're talking about what to do when your emergency fund hits an emergency. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so this is not really something fun to talk about, but it's something that is important and that can definitely happen when you're on your journey to financial freedom. And that is, what do you do when your emergency fund hits an emergency, or has an emergency, right? So what do you do when you need to use your emergency fund? What are the steps that you need to take? What, really should you be saying to yourself in this time? So first of all, let me just say, if you find yourself in this situation, just take a deep breath. This is why you have an emergency fund in place, right? Life happens and things are unpredictable at times, and the things that we can plan for, we do plan for, but even the best laid plans sometimes don't get met, right? So this happens to you if you find yourself in a situation where you have to use your emergency fund just to get through life. What you want to do once you are done with the emergency, once you've kind of gotten over the hump of the emergency and life is getting back to normal, you want to stop whatever baby step you were on before your emergency. So if you were on baby step 2, where you are paying off debt, or if you're on baby step 3, where you're building your emergency fund, you want to stop contributing to either of those causes or either of those baby steps and go back to building your baby emergency fund. Another recommendation that I have is to make sure that your 4 walls are taken care of. So if you find yourself in an emergency, make sure that your money will cover your utilities, your rent, your food, gas, etc. Just go back to bare bones and really, really basic living in order to get through the emergency and to get to the other side of it. So something that my husband and I have done when this has happened to us is we've stopped contributing to sinking funds. We have, obviously halted whichever baby step we're on, which is baby step 2, and we've just gotten down to bare bones. So we've gotten really limited on any food that we're buying. So what our grocery fund is, we would take out the same amount of money but really spend it very, very wisely and limit our spending of it as much as possible. So we'd eat through our pantry, we'd spend on only like necessities, things that we really needed. Say we ran out of bread and we knew that we could make peanut butter and jelly. For lunches, we would get a loaf of bread or, or eggs or milk or something like that. But really, really bare minimum living during that time. So if that's where you find yourself, or you happen to be in a case where you have to use your emergency fund, definitely do those things. And the final thing that I want to say, if you find yourself in a place where you've had to use your emergency fund, is to take a deep breath. Emergencies happen, life happens, but you will get back on the horse and you will keep riding down the path to financial freedom. It's only a matter of time, and as frustrating as it may feel, to have hit an emergency and to maybe feel like you're taking a step back, the important thing to know is that, and to celebrate, is that you're not using credit cards to dig yourself out of this, and that you do have the cash on hand, and that you do have your basic necessities and basic needs for your family met during this time. So those are all bright sides to look at if you do happen to face an emergency where you're pulling from your emergency fund. When this has happened to us, we've been able to look at each other and say, thank God we have an emergency fund. Like, thank goodness, because seriously, without it, we would be back to our old habits and back to our old ways. So I encourage you to have an emergency fund, follow the baby steps the way they are written, because they help to protect you and to give you a good, almost like a good, what's it called, like base or base of support for your journey. So that's all I have for you guys today. Short and sweet, I know, but something very important to take a look at and to know when you're on your financial journey. Thanks guys so much for watching. Be sure to like the video if you've enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe for more. I will see you tomorrow for day 23.